What is up, disc golfers? Today on Iceberg TV, I want to show you guys my top 3 favorite brands you probably have never heard of. The first company on my list is going to be called Momentum Discs. Currently, I own 3 of their molds, the Pretty Fly, the Nice, and the Slim. All 3 discs are extremely useful in their own way, and all 3 are actually currently in my bag. Their discs, on my experience, tend to be on the more understable side, which may make them a lot more beginner friendly. Especially more so than discs like, Wraiths, Destroyers, Zeus's. A lot of these discs probably are going to be too overstable for most newer players. I would steer newer players to try out a Pretty Fly and a Slim. So I have 2 Slims, a Pretty Fly that I'm going to demo for you today. I love the Slim because no matter how I throw it, it's always going to turn. If I accidentally throw it nose up, it's still going to turn. And same thing with the Pretty Fly. It's just very glidey and understable 10 speed, a little bit smaller rim, but I'm always able to get a nice turn out of any of my Momentum discs. And this makes them very useful, especially in the Charlotte Woods or any wooded disc golf. I always want to have a disc that I know I can shape a backhand turnover or a forehand turnover. So we're going to go Slim and then Pretty Fly so you guys can see how they fly. I just finished my workout, legs are a bit sore, kind of threw a little weird nose up, and it's still just got a nice gentle turn on it. I'll throw this one a little more flat so you can really see how much it wants to turn. I love having a throwing putter that I know will always turn no matter how I throw it. So that's why I bag the Momentum Discs Slim. The next disc, Pretty Fly, similar type of flight for me, except obviously a lot faster. I like to use, the flight numbers are 9.6 minus 1.2. But for me, it flies more like a 9.6 minus 3.1. It's just really easy to turn, nice and comfortable in the hand, not too wide a rim. This kind of flies how you think a new Sidewinder is going to fly, with that nice early and mid-flight turn. We get a slight fade at the end. We're throwing into a little bit of a tailwind, but ultimately super easy to turn, super beginner friendly. Momentum discs, go check them out today. Now the next brand on this list is going to be Clash Discs. Now you may have heard of Clash Discs, but you probably haven't thrown many of their discs. I would highly recommend you try out the new Peach from Clash Discs. Also in my bag, really nice mid-flight turn, but then a nice consistent slight fade at the end. So I can trust it hard and flat. It's going to turn in the mid-flight, but it's only a 4-speed, and as it continues to slow down, that fade wants to pick up at the end. I have this one that turns a little more, and this one that fades a little bit more. Really nice discs, super nice feeling in the hand. It's a 4.5 minus 2.1, and they absolutely nailed the flight numbers. The Peach is a winner from Clash Discs. We'll demo these as well. So we got a nice straight flight with a slight fade at the end. This one's a little more stable. I pretty much throw this as hard as I can flat, and it'll turn a little and then fade a little. It's an absolute money mid-range. Great workhorse mid-range for a highly skilled or new player. Reliable for the slower arm, and really nice straight pushing distance for the bigger arm or more advanced player. Now our last brand is probably one of the most innovative, but also one of the most unusual. This is NSH Custom Discs, PDGA approved 3D printed discs. I have 3 molds with us today. I have the Borg, which looks like a tilt. I have my Signature Series Watermelon Mr. Putt, the slowest approach disc I've ever thrown. Absolutely love it. and the Sector G1R1, which has this really innovative rim design. This flies exactly as you would expect. It flies like a tilt, and yeah, I'll show you guys how overstable it is. It's absolutely ridiculous. So if you don't like Discmania and you want to tilt, go get yourself a Borg. I can reassure you that they are PDGA approved and extremely fun to throw. They're environmentally friendly, they're indestructible, and in my opinion, one of the most underrated disc golf brands in the game. They have some more normal and standard molds, but I want to show you guys the most fun ones, my favorite ones. The Sector G1R1 flies to me just like a zone. Kind of threw it into the ground a little bit. It's a little bit cold, but I can reassure you that it does fly like a zone. If you want to check out the full review, the link is in the description below. Now, this is my favorite one. This is the Mr. Putt. It kind of has that lid type design. Not quite like a polecat, but somewhat similar as far as the fact that it looks like a lid. But with that being said, it's much more overstable and much slower than a disc like a polecat. Really love it for my approach shots. When my Berg is not quite stable enough, I'm reaching for my Mr. Putt for all those upshots. So the Mr. Putt is by far the slowest disc I've ever thrown. It's not going to go far. It's not going to go fast. It's not going to hit the ground and roll. Again, when my Berg isn't stable enough, I'm going with the Mr. Putt. Comment your favorite unusual brand in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe. Go check out bergsbags.com for the #1 disc golf bag. You're watching Iceberg TV.